lecture I will show you how we can access an array elements by using the concept of pointer. So already we have discussed what pointer is. Pointer is nothing but a special kind of variable that can store address of any other variable. So for example, if I consider this is an array A and the array is of integer type array and there are 5 elements into the array. Now this is the different elements that we have in our array. These are different elements that we already have in our array, and this element is 0 position element, so we write it as A0, that we have already discussed in the lecture of array. Now what we have to store? We have to store the address of these different elements into an array. And array definition, array is collection of homogeneous type of data, number 1, and number 2 was array is a collection of continuous memory location. The array data is stored in continuous memory location. So if I consider this is our memory, main memory, and we have an array. So this is a continuous 5 location. For example, this location is 1000. Okay. So here basically we have the first element, that you see 10. The first element we have stored into this location. So this 1000 is called the base address. This is called the base address. Okay. Now in array, all the one element will be stored in the very next memory location. Then it will be the address of A2 and so on. So in that way, in array, all the data, all the elements of the array will be stored in continuous memory location. Now as it is an integer type array, so every integer will take 2 byte, either 2 byte in case of 32-bit compiler, in case of 64-bit compiler it will take 4 bytes. So here we are considering 32-bit compiler and the size of the integer is 2. So the next data will be stored into 1002 location. Next will be in 1004 location, 1006 location and 1008. Okay. So that means the array that will store the first element into the 1000 location and the last element at the 1008 location, and intermediate elements will be stored into the continuous location. Now what we do, we take a pointer variable. For example, I take a pointer variable P. P is a pointer variable. So what P can store? P can store address of any other variable. P can store address of any other variable. So in P we store the address of the base address of the array. That means we store the address of the 0th element of the array, that is 10. So that means the value of P is actually 1000. The value of P is actually 1000. So this address we store into the pointer. This address we store into the pointer. Now if I write pointer P, so if P store the address of the A0 element, so pointer P will indicate the value of A0, that is equals to 10. Okay, so that means this is my pointer variable P, where the value is 1000. Okay, so what is pointer P? Pointer P is basically, in P we have an address that is 1000, so it will go to this address, and pointer P will represent the value stored at that particular address. So what value is stored at that particular address is 10. That's why pointer P is equal to 10, which is equal to the value of A0 element. Okay. Now if I take another pointer, that is for pointer P1. Now I have taken another pointer, pointer P1. And if I say P1 is equal to P1 is equal to address of A1. P1 is equal to address of A1. So the value of P1 will be 1002 because address of the first element of the array is 1002. So in P1 we store that. So P1 is equal to 1002. And now if I write pointer P1, so pointer similarly, pointer P1 means in P1 we have an address that is 1002, so it will go to that particular address and it will retrieve the element which is stored at that value. So at that position what value we have is 20. 20, that is the A1 element. So pointer P1 is equal to 20, that is equal to A1 element. So in that way we can take number of pointers and we can store the array element, address of the elements of the array into the pointer, and by using the pointer we can retrieve the elements. Now the question is, here we have only 5 elements, so we can take 5 different pointer variable to store the address of all the 5 elements. Now if there is an array which have 1000 number of elements are there, then how will it be possible to declare different 1000 numbers of pointer variable and store the individual addresses into that pointer, and using that we can access it? That is not possible. So we have to find out a different way how we can do it. So that I will show you now, that using only one pointer variable without declaring number of pointer variable for different elements of the array, using only one pointer variable, how we can access all the elements of the array. So let us consider similarly that is an array. Five elements are there: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay. So this is the A0 element and this is our A4 element. Okay. And we have taken a pointer variable, that is integer pointer P. P equal to, we have assigned address of A0 element. Okay. So similarly, if I consider this memory, so when I write P equal to address of A0, that means the value of P is 1000. This concept is very much similar to that already we have discussed. Now what I will do, if I write pointer P1, pointer P, so it is indicating the value of A0, that is equal to 10. So by using pointer P, we can access the 0th element of the array. Okay. Now our target is we have to address the first element, this element if we want to access. Now we don't have declared any other pointer that will store the address of the first element, A1 element of the array. Now I will show you how we can access this element by using this pointer. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to perform an increment operation. So P is now, P variable is now indicating this address. Now if I can change the value or update the value of P with this address, then it will indicate this variable. So how we can update the value of P from 1000 to 1002? Okay. So our target is we have to update the value of P, it is 1000. So if we can store this into P, then we can indicate this element. So we have to perform basically P plus plus operation. So pointer arithmetic already we have discussed. In pointer arithmetic, if we perform increment operation on P, then the value of P will not increase by 1. The value of P increment depends on the data type. So as this pointer variable P is storing the address of integer type data, pointer variable P is storing the address of integer type data, and we know each integer take 2 bytes to store the data. That's why if I perform p++, so the value of p will increase by 2. The value of p will increase by 2. So p++, now the value of p is updated to 1002. Okay. Now if I perform another p++ operation, so value of p will be now updated to again 1002 plus 2. So it will be 1004. Another increment, it will be 1006. Another increment, it will become 1008. So in that way, just by increasing the value of the pointer variable, we can indicate or we can address any of this element into the array. So we need not to declare multiple number of pointer variable. Okay. So that I am talking about how we can access all the elements of the array by using a pointer variable p. And I have shown you here how we can, by increasing the value of p, how we can access it. Now if I say that we have 100 number of elements into an array. Now certainly I need the 25th number element. I need the 25th number element. Okay. So a25 number element. So how will you access this? Will we perform 25 number of increment operation on the p variable? That means I am talking about, if I consider the similar array and if I say up to this is okay, that p that will always store the address of the base address, pointer variable will always store the base address. Now if I say we need to access this element 40, we need to access this element 40. So what will you do now? So will you perform the increment operation 1, 2, 3 times? We will perform the increment operation 3 times. So if I write p++, again p++, again p++, that is one way. That is one way. Okay. And directly what we can write? We can write p equal to p plus 3. We can also write it similar. 3 time increment operation we are performing separately, p++, again p++. This we can replace by this statement, p equal to p plus 3. So if we want to, this is the 0 position element, 1 position element, 2 position element, 3 position element. So if we want to access the element which is stored at the position 3 of this array, so we perform p plus 3. If we want to access the element which is stored at the 4th position, we will write p equal to p plus 4. Okay. If we want to access, there are 100 number of elements. If we want to access the element which is at the 25th position, then we write p equal to p plus 25 directly. So in that way, just by using this logic, we can address or we can indicate any element of the array by using simple this increment operation on the pointer variable. So that is the way how we can store an array and complete array into a pointer variable, and by using the pointer variable we can access the array. Now the same concept is applicable in case of two-dimensional array also and string also, because string and also a character array that follows all the rules of any pointer, any array. Just one difference in case of string is that a string is terminated with a null character. Otherwise everything, how we perform the operation on a string, how we declare a string, everything is similar to the array. So this concept is also applicable in case of string and also in two-dimensional array. So I will give a very small example of two-dimensional array. So I am considering a very small 2 into 3 array, two-dimensional array. So A is equal to 3 and it is like this. So we have 2 row and 3 column. It's like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a two-dimensional array we have considered, and this is our 0, 0 element, row 0 and column 0 element. So that will be considered, that is our base address. The address of this element will be our base address. So if I consider a pointer variable, integer pointer p, and if I assign the value of p is equal to address of a 0 0 element. So here also similarly we assign the address of the base element of the two-dimensional array into the pointer variable p. So the value of p is now, pointer p is now indicating the A00 element. Pointer p is now indicating A00 element. That means this element will be indicating. Now as we know how we allocate the memory in two-dimensional array, we allocate the memory row wise. First we allocate the memory for these three elements, then these three elements, then these three elements. So if I write in sequentially, it will be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we allocate the memory. So this is our p is indicating this address now, and pointer p is indicating this element now. Okay. Now if I say if we want to access this element, so just by p plus 1, because only one increment will address this element. If we want to access this element, it will be p plus 2. Okay. If we want to access this, it will be p plus 3. It will be p plus 4 and so on. So in that way, just by performing or increasing the value of p, gradually we can change the elements. Now that is a simple process. Now there is a very simple formula that I am showing here because we have taken a very small matrix. If there is a large matrix, very large matrix where number of row and number of column is huge, in that case directly by using this concept we can access any elements into a two-dimensional array. Just we have to identify the logic. If I write So through this program we are going to discuss the relationship between array and pointer, or how we can store an array or how we can access an array by using the pointer or by using the address. So theoretically already we have seen how can we do it. Now I will show you some practical example. So this is a very simple program I have considered for this purpose. So when I have taken an array, as you see 5 elements are there and it is an integer type array. So these are the 5 elements of my array, and I have taken a pointer variable ptr, that is a pointer variable. Before we go to the program, just I want to remind that pointer is nothing but a variable that can store address of another variable, and array is an derived type variable, derived data type. Array is also a variable that can store homogeneous kind of data. So now our target is that how we have to access this array by using pointer. Now here I will show you that how we can print the different elements of the array by using the concept of pointer. So before already we have done the program using simple array without the concept of pointer, how we can print an array. So let me just discuss that first, then I am coming to the pointer. So let us first print it here, then I am coming to the concept of pointer. So what I do is, we take a variable I that is representing the position, and using printf statement we can print it. So to print, what we basically write, we provide the array name and within the parenthesis we write the position. So as you see, this is a simple method how we can print an array by the position of the element into the array. So when the value of I is equal to 0, it will print the 0 position element. When the value of I is equal to 1, it will print the 1 position element. So in that way it will print all the 5 elements present into this array. Now the same task we have to do, but by using the concept of pointer. So that's why we have taken the ptr pointer. Now I am coming to that logic. So here what I have done, in pointer variable we store the address of the array. So what is the meaning of this statement? The meaning of this statement is that we are not going to store the address of any particular element into the pointer directly. We can do that also. If I write pointer variable is equal to the name of the array, as you see here we are writing only the name of the array. So generally the base address of that particular array will get stored into the pointer variable. So it is just like we can say pointer is equal to address of array 0 element. So we can write this statement also, that is also true, this is also true. So it is a two way how we can assign the address of the array into the pointer variable. So always we have to assign the base address into the pointer. So if I write ptr is equal to only array, then by default the base address of the array, base address means the address of the 0th element. The address of the 0th element is called the base address. So the base address will be assigned to the pointer variable. And if I write in that way, then directly we are assigning the address of the 0th element in the pointer. Now by using this statement only, or by assigning the base address into the pointer only, we can access any of the elements into the pointer, any of the elements by using the pointer, because we know that is only possible in case of array, because array we have discussed that array is a continuous memory location. So the address of the A0 element, if is known, then just by moving to the next address we can get the A1 array 1 element. Just moving to the next address we can get the address of the second element. So in that way, so here we are doing the same thing by using the concept of pointer, as you see. So here we are printing pointer PTR. Okay. So from this statement, if pointer is indicating the address of the 0th element of the array, if pointer is indicating or pointer has stored the address of the 0th element of the array, so that means by using pointer PTR, it will print the value of the 0th element. Now after that we just perform the increment operation on the pointer. Now the increment operation on the pointer, that also we have discussed in the previous lecture, that if we perform increment operation, it will increase the value of the pointer by 2 or by 4 depending on the compiler, because as this pointer is a integer type pointer, the data type of the pointer is integer, and each integer will take 2 byte or 4 byte depending on a compiler. So if I consider 2 byte, so each pointer will take or increase 2 at a time, because the size of the integer is 2. Okay. That also I am showing you next. So let us first run the program and see what output we are getting. Okay, just make a new line here so that we can separate this. So as you see the output, the 1 2 3 4 5, this we have printed by using simple this concept without using pointer that we have printed. Using this concept we have printed this, and this 1 2 3 4 5 we have printed by using the concept of pointer, as you see here, by using this concept of pointer. So from this program what we can see that how to store an array into pointer, or how we can use a pointer to indicate a particular array. So here just we have to indicate or store the base address of the array, and the remaining elements of the array we can easily access by performing increment operation on the pointer variable that we have just shown. Now here in this program, just same program I have considered, but here just I am going to print the address of the different elements of the array, and here I am printing the values of the continuous pointers by incrementing. So we have in pointer we have the base address, or in pointer is indicating the array, and just by performing the increment operation we can update the value of the pointer variable. Now let us see, if I update the value of the pointer variable, what we get. See, that address of array 0 element is this, and these are the continuous. So as all integers are, all elements of the array is integer type, and as we are using 64-bit compiler, so size of integer is 4 here in this particular compiler. So it is, you can see these are 5 continuous memory location is allocated for the array. Now come to the pointer, you see that there also we have 5 pointers, pointer 1 2 3 4 5. Only one pointer, means I have just checking after incrementing what value we are getting. So pointer 1 is indicating the address of the 0 element, that is the base address you see. So that I was discussing, if I write ptr equal to array, that means pointer equal to array name, then the base address will be assigned to the particular pointer. So the base address is assigned to the pointer. Now if I increase the value of the pointer, it is indicating the second element. Another increment indicate the third element. Another increment indicate the fourth element, then fifth element, and so on. So in that way, just by indicating or just by incrementing the value of the pointer, we can shift from one element to another element of the array. Now there is another program that we are writing to find out the sum of the elements. So similarly here we have taken an array with 5 elements, and I have taken a pointer variable, and this is the way how we are assigning the value of the pointer variable. So if I write ptr equal to array, that I already have discussed, the base address of the array will be assigned to the pointer, and just by incrementing the value of the pointer we can shift the elements from array 0 element to array 1 element, then to array 2 element, and so on in that way. So here see, generally what we write without the pointer, to find out the sum we write sum equal to sum plus the name of the array, and we mention the position. As you see, we write in that way if we are not using the concept of pointer. But here we are, as we are doing by using pointer, so just the element, instead of mentioning the element, we write the pointer variable. So here we are writing pointer ptr. So pointer ptr means when the value of I is 0, when the value of I is 0, so it will be array 0 element. At the same time, ptr is equal to array, that means the base address. So that is the address of A0 element, just that we have shown previously in the previous output. Then if we increase the value of the pointer, then it will indicate the second element. So when I equals to 1, it is array 1 element, and after the increment of the pointer ptr is also indicating the same element. So as by changing the value of I 0, 1, 2, 3, here it will change the elements of the array. Similarly here, by increasing the value of the pointer variable, we are changing the address, and each address is representing different elements of the array. So if I run the program, you see we have the inputs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are getting the sum as 15. So from that we can say that by increasing the value of the pointer, we have successfully indicated different elements of the array. Now I will show you another program. The purpose is same, find out the sum of the elements of an array, but here we are indicating an array by using the pointer by this declaration, and in this program we will do the same thing, just by changing the process how to indicate this. So as you see, so here you see how we are representing the array. So similarly here we are just using the array name to represent the base address of the array. So that you see what I have done, I have declared an array by name x, and to represent this array using pointer, I have not taken any pointer variable. So what I have done, as you see here, generally how we take the input, we take the input by using this statement %d equal to %d that we assign to x array by using the position. So when the value of I is 0, it will be inserted into the 0 position of x array. When the value of I is 1, it will inserted at the 1 position of x array. So in that way, by this position we can insert the element into the array. Now what we are doing here, instead of that, we just convert the statement like this. The scanf statement I have changed to this, that scanf %d, and here you see, instead of writing this, what we are writing is x plus I. That means here we are assigning the value. So what only x means basically? What is the meaning of only x? If I write x within bracket, we provide the position. That means it is representing a perfect or a particular element at that position which is mentioned here. Now here we are not mentioning any position, we are just mentioning the array name. So array name always represent the base address of the array. Base address of the array. Let us verify that. Let us verify that by running the program. So as you see, the value of x is this, and value of address of the 0th element of x array is this. So they both are same. So from this we can say the base address we can access by the array name. Now here we are assigning the value similarly. So initially the value of I will be 0. So x plus I is basically x plus I is x plus 0 equal to x. So the value that we are assigning, that will stored into this particular address x. Will be stored into this particular address x. Now when the value of I is 1, so it will be x plus 1. It will be x plus 1. So that means we are increasing the address. We are not increasing value. We are increasing the address. So as we are increasing the address, the value of the address will increase by 2 or 4 depending on the compiler. Why? Because the array is a integer type array. That means all the elements stored into the array are of integer type, and each integer will take either 2 or 4 bytes. So depending on that, if we increase the address, always the address will indicate the next object, and the next object will be stored at that address x plus 1. That already I have shown you that how to if we perform increment operation on a pointer, what happens. So by this we can access the next element. When the value of I is equal to 2, so it should be x plus 2. So x plus 2, if I write, it will represent the 2 position element of array x. Then the value of I will be 3, so it will be x plus 3. So it is representing the 3 position element of the array x. So in that way we can represent every element, and similarly we can perform the sum operation also, pointer x plus I. So when the value of x is I is 0, so it is representing the 0 position element. When the value of I is 1, it is representing the 1 position element, because we are using pointer here, as you see. So x plus I, it is representing the address, and pointer x plus I, it is representing the value at that address. So by using this logic we can find out sum of the array. So two processes we have discussed. So let me show you the output. So here we have to take the inputs. Let me take the input as 1. So you see the inputs I have taken as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the sum we are getting as 21, which is similar to the process is similar to the previous program, but here just how we are representing the base address, or how we are representing the address of the different elements of the array is different. Directly by using the array name we can represent the base address, as well as by declaring a pointer variable and assigning the base address into the pointer variable also we can do. So here we have taken a 2-dimensional array. So in 2-dimensional array, how we can represent the different elements of a 2-dimensional array by using pointer. So I have taken a 2-dimensional array where number of row is 4 and number of column is 3, and these are the elements of 12 elements are there total. So here we are printing the 2-dimensional array, and there is I have taken a pointer variable ptr. Now how we assign, similarly as you see, pointer variable ptr is equal to just the name of the array. That means the base address of the array we are assigning to the pointer variable. The concept is very similar to 1-dimensional array. Just providing the array name, we can assign the base address of the array into the pointer variable. Now here we can print the different elements of the pointer variable in that way, and every increment will on the pointer variable, one increment operation on the pointer variable will shift to the next element, That means if we perform ptr plus 1, then it will shift to the next element. So if I show the inputs, these are the inputs. So this is 1, initially 1 is indicating the pointer variable. Now if I perform one increment operation on the pointer variable, then it will indicate the second element 2. If I perform another increment, that will indicate the third element 3. So in that way we can represent different elements of a 2-dimensional array also. Now the question that I was discussing is how we can represent a particular element. For example, we want to indicate only this element 8. We want to represent only this element 8. Now directly how we can represent this element. So if you see, for this element 8, 3 information we need. That what is the row size of the array, that is 4. Now for this element 8, what is the number of row and what is the number of column. So if you see number of row, the number of row is second row, the 8 is at the second row, and the column number is 3. So row number 2, column number 3. के 4 माइनस 3 4 2 0 4 4